Ano yan?
Background dito yung bahay.
One more. There you go.
Kasi ano eh, tapos wala nang bundok na, doon na sila.
Ako walang bundok sa mga kiriga.
Iba naman yung bundok, kita mo yung bundok.
Doon ang bundok mo may eta eh.
Dito sa dito.
Siya ang pupunta ko ngayon.
Hindi magmamato ka.
Ayaw mo magmama. Dahil yung nangyay namin, yung nagkaroon na nagtago ng bahay. Tapos, so anyway, okay. Mga naka-skyline. Dahil alam mo na yung tapos skyline tayo. Then, kakanan ka sa
Tapos, mag-ano ako doon sa may Lake Merced.
Lake Merced, yeah.
Lake Merced, ikot ako doon sa Islot. Pag ano, babalik papunta ako sa Sunset Boulevard. Dire-diretso yun. Oo, pag nakita mo, naalala mo. Pagdating sa Sunset Boulevard, yung
1970. Okay, alam mo ng PQRS. Alam mo nung kalye yan.
alam mo yun, kaya namin, ang gusto niya, 1, 2, 3. Wala ba, alala mo yun.
Okay. So, sige, mauna ka na.
Okay. Kami ni Gigi doon nagdadaan na gano'n. Kaya na nakalimutan mo.
Sige!
Kasi mo lang hato, abahan na yun.
Okay. Okay, solo. Okay. You want to wear your cap? You can. One, ready. Next. Yan naman. Superstar. One, ready. One more. Okay, next. Sige. Ito nadara si tripod noon. Dahil ko dinara si tripod. Sabi ko kasi kay Lita dalhin yung tripod.
Wala ka? Sinisino naman.
Ready?
Okay. Next. Sige, zero. Last. Come on, everybody. Punta na kayo ron. I'll take you to join. Punta na ka ron. Rock bridge? Sino ko ako mo? Bridge. Lipat kami? Yeah. Kayo naman mag-usawa mo na. Kasi mas maganda ang view rito ng bridge na yan. Ito may hero niya lagi. Ito nakakalit dito lagi. Okay, solo yung mga bata.
Kasi ano eh, presente lang.
Okay. Then next. Okay, next. Hindi, sinasadya yun eh. Ready. Okay.
Farmer superstar siya eh. May papuspos siya gano'n. Nawala eh.
Ha? Ready. Ano na?
Siya na naman yung mga posing naman siya sa kasi niya. Yun.
Mas yun sa kabila yung isa. Ito man ako talaga nagdadalaga na eh. Hindi mag-post eh. Okay. Next. Ready. Ay, wala.
Kita mo yung gospel. Ay, golden gate.
Pag-abot sa Alisa.
Ay, pag sa Alcatraz. Hindi naman masyado.
Bumaba pa kita duman, mas mararahin ako yan.
Nakarating na kami dyan ng park dyan. Oo. Pagbaba ko dyan, may rooms kami dyan. Kasi ang boat mo dyan.
Ito daw, baba ka kay Sarah.
Sige na, kayo na. Maganda din yung kukuha ka na tapos kasi tatalubin.
They're the same height, dude. She's taller than you by an inch.
She's wearing a hat.
Okay.
Nakita ko yung mga sa
Kukunan ko ng ano yan. Okay. Sabi ko, kung na naglalakaw, bigla parang ko mga British man. Yung kayo mabilis naglalakaw, paano?
Wild 94.9. True Life Crew. High Town DJ. Hazy and Envy. Interlude. Big Fun. It's 11X plus special surprise guest. Going on the Cello Pool City on Wild 94.9. We out at the biggest concert of the year, baby. It's going to definitely be so ball. Keep it locked on Wild 94.9 to win your tickets before you can buy them. Go on sale this Wednesday only. Tickets are just $12. $12 tickets Wednesday only.
Magpaparada na dyan.
Concert of the year is happening June 11th at Hotel Doghouse Arena. This is the Bob from Nantucket Nexus and the Bay Area's party station.
Are we down yet?
Not yet, it's almost. It's the last curve. Oh, Sarah, nakailan liko tayo?
Search for the fountain of youth for men.
Dalawa
What
lang.
do you think about the idea of men wearing makeup?
Why?
Dalawa lang. Ito.
You've come a long
okay.
way, buddy. Tonight on the
That's right.
original 10 o'clock news on Fox 2.
Laughter.
First, David tells his female partner, who be the man.
I'm Ike Yakina.
Hi!
Godzilla.
Yeah, but Ike had the crack pipe and the quick right.
Garaswa. Isang inihaw. Ba, hindi, dalawa inihaw. Isang inihaw. Sige. Ako na may mga maupo na. Ganun para sa iba.
Oh, ito. Talaga ako. Pero otherwise, para sa konekon sa
Turista. Para nagsimba lang
May kasama Vietnam si
Indonesian yan.
Parating na ba kami? Ganda ng flight namin eh.
At may kasama kang Vietnam eh.
Alam mo na.
Hindi.
Oo nga, no?
Napagkasama lang yung Vietnam eh. Ay, ko pala,
Oo nga,
Indonesian.
no?
O, nagkasama naman pala kayo.
Oo nga.
Dumaan sa, ay nako pa yan, dumaan sa barangay ng Taro, na open, na mayong niya. Mayong sa may.
Ilaw ah. Tiara. Ayun.
Coast Guard regulations require us to tell you where it is located. Like that in closely. We also ask that you do not move.
Oh, yeah.
French, Italian, and Japanese. The English is on this side, and the other languages are over there. Okay, next, the second asked question here, where are the restrooms? The restrooms are over here in this early Taco Bell design building.
Down the great corridor known as Broadway. But that's only one small part of the much bigger story at Alcatraz. An island defined by isolation with a history that stretches back 15,000 years to the end of the last ice age. Centuries ago, ice age glaciers melted, the sea level rose, and a hill in a valley became an island in a bay. Shortly thereafter, the first humans settled here. They were foragers who relied on the plentiful plant and animal life, and they made it use the island as a safe haven while crossing the bay in storms. Then around 1775, the first Europeans, Spaniards, sailed in the San Francisco Bay. One of them noticed the many pelicans, or alcatrazes, on a rocky island in the bay. And from that Spanish word came today's name, Alcatraz. 75 years later, California was a new state. Gold was coming down from the nearby Sierra foothills, and business was booming in the city of San Francisco and San Francisco Bay. To protect its resources, in 1850, the government decided to build the West Coast's first operating lighthouse and a fortress on Alcatraz. The fortress initially included batteries or cannon emplacements, a defensive living quarters called the Citadel, and an impressive guardhouse. During the Civil War, and for the next 20 years, fortress construction continued on the island. One of the most important new buildings included 10 cannon rooms, or casemates, where you are now seated. But even as the armaments reached 111 cannons, technological advances in warfare made the fortress obsolete. However, this isolated island was well suited for a prison, and throughout the remainder of the 1800s, the number of military prisoners and the variety of military prison housing increased. In 1909, the top floors of the Citadel were replaced by today's cell house. The military prison was also given a new name, U.S. Army Disciplinary Barracks, Alcatraz. What was life on the island like during the days of the disciplinary barracks? Well, for the officers, their wives, and their children, life was relaxed, positive, even carefree. But for a former inmate like Earl Neville, life on Alcatraz was grim. He still remembers his punishment for attacking a prison orderly, solitary confinement.
That was a dream, something that I'd like to forget. And all you can do is think. And you don't think too good of things, I'll tell you. I don't think that I can go through it again.
By the 1930s, the cost of running a facility on an isolated island forced the Army to close their prisons. But for the growing FBI, the Bureau of Prisons, and the Justice Department, it was the perfect place for the era's most hardened criminals, the perfect place for a maximum security penitentiary. In 1934, the government transferred Alcatraz from the Army to the Justice Department, creating what they hoped would be a super prison.
And here's America's Devil's Island. Grim and inaccessible.
The worst of the worst, the toughest of the tough, were sent to Alcatraz. They included criminals like Alphonse Scarface Capone, George Machine Gun Kelly, Alvin Creepy Carcass, and the Birdman, Robert Stroud. All isolated in a prison boasting only 4 rights: food, clothing, shelter, and medical care. Everything else, from reading materials to work, was a privilege. For convicted spy Morton Sobel and many others, the most significant privilege was visiting the recreation yard on weekends.
You had a choice here. But you didn't have back then. You put it right up on your head. It was freedom. Freedom to do what you wanted to do.
This is the isolation room.
In the federal penitentiary, the opposite of freedom was the complete loss of privileges and human contact in solitary confinement, also known as the hold. Here, the most troublesome prisoners were deprived of light and sound for as many as 19 days in a row. It was cold and mentally torturous. It led to some unique methods of passing time. Convicted kidnapper Jim Quillen passed his time by closing his eyes, throwing a button in the air, and then trying to find it.
It's a real mental struggle to keep yourself together. When you want to scream, you want to cry, and believe the same time to cry again.
Just a 2-minute stroll below the cell house on the top floors of the barracks building and in the apartment buildings on the old Army parade ground, there was another life going on. This was the home life of the correctional officers and their families. Theirs was a traditional, almost suburban lifestyle, but one deeply influenced by the isolation of the island. Transportation on the Warden Johnson, the penitentiary's boat, determined when they shopped, when they went to school, and when they went on dates. It was a lifestyle that fascinated outsiders.
Oh, I think they thought it was cool or weird. They just, I mean, people were fascinated. Even when I was in second grade, my teachers would, they wanted me to show and tell about Alcatraz. That was always the subject of what I did on my summer vacation, living in Alcatraz.
But by the early 1960s, Alcatraz was no longer considered effective in managing incorrigible inmates. That, combined with public criticism of the harshness here and the sheer cost of operating a deteriorating facility, ensured the prison's closure in 1963. The following year, the island was transferred to the government's property management agency, the General Services Administration. The GSA tried to sell it, considering various proposals, including turning it into a monument, a university for American Indians, a gambling casino, and a space museum. By the late 1960s, there was still no decision on the future of Alcatraz, but the times, they were changing. Richard Nixon was president. There was a war in Vietnam, and people were developing new political power. In this environment, Alcatraz became a focal point of the Native American Indian movement.
One lone little light bulb was up here that lit this way. As the Indians came off the boat, onto the water barge, up the ramp, while the security guard for the island was jumping up and down saying, "Mayday, mayday, the Indians have landed."
On a cold November morning in 1969, a group of political activists landed on Alcatraz to protest the treatment of Native Americans. Their occupation of the island would last 19 months. Initially, there was strong public support, but within a few months, unity on the island declined and dissension increased. Then, in May of 1970, fires destroyed some of the historic buildings on the island. Some blamed the Indians, others government provocateurs. Public support declined further, and the government realized it could now take back Alcatraz. On June 11, 1971, 20 marshals removed the remaining protesters. The occupation was over, but for Native Americans, it was just the beginning of their political movement.
I think the significance of the Alcatraz occupation is that it demonstrated clearly a growing participation on the part of the American Indians to address their needs, their ability to launch massive political movements that clearly endeared themselves to the American people.
Following the Native American occupation, the General Services Administration examined the apartment buildings that were here on the parade ground. These had been homes for guards and their families during the penitentiary years. They were also used and lived in during the 19 months of the Indian occupation. The GSA found that they were severely damaged, that they were a hazard and too expensive to repair. So in 1971, the GSA tore them down. Then in 1972, these ruins and the rest of Alcatraz became the responsibility of the National Park Service as part of the newly created Golden Gate National Recreation Area. Today, the Golden Gate National Recreation Area stretches across nearly 75,000 acres of the San Francisco Bay Area. It is the world's largest and most visited urban national park. Every year, people from all over the world come and explore its human history and natural resources.
Kumusta naman sila doon?
Mabuti. Magulo.
Magulo ba?
Oo, magulong schedule. Hindi na nga nila alam na... Ako.
Ay, ang di lang pala nakuha si Carlos, ano?
Oo. Pero nag-hire sila ng dalawa.
Nag-hire sila ng dalawa.
Si Rene, tsaka si yung Terry. Yung...
Oh, si Rene nga. Dati naman si Rene dahil, di ba? Nire-hire si Rene.
Oo. Ilan kayo? Ano pagbabago?
Ako yan, Noy.
Ha?
Sa Bisaya, ang...
Dahil ka ko na ko, inas kay hindi niya si camera, dahil madardar.
Ay, kadar.
Dahil, nga kini ni litas si camera. Yan ang Golden Gate Bridge. Don't smile. Kasi nakakulungan ka eh.
Then you shout, ibalik mo ako sa Pilipinas.
Yeah, ikaw may hawak ng camera. Saan mo dinadala eh?
You have it in the locker.
Hell House Cafe.
Ba't ka nagtatago?
Pwede rin sila magkwentuhan, magkatabi.
Nandito kami sa bubong ng Alcatraz. Yan sa yung bilog na yun na nasa Kusli.
Next shot. Oh, sige. Ngayon na. Sama na.
Baka sabihin, ano lang ito eh. Galing lang sa background.
Papa. Okay. Kunin mo para yung building na Ben, ikaw kayo dyan.
Nakasalubong ka dito sa araw, hindi magandang labas niyan.
Kaso na, bihul, ano ang kukunin?
Ay, hindi pala, takpan mo lang yung lens.
I got you.
If you would join me here for a few minutes, I'm going to give you some information on today's events. This beautiful morning penitentiary. This building right here is the restroom on the dock, and at the top of the hill we have some porta potties for you.
May Alcatraz Island ba gawin? Yan, pindot ka. Hangin ka? Nililipat daw siya ng hangin.
Akala ko, nakalagpas kayo eh.
Talaga na bigla kami. Akala ko galing sa heaven.
Bakit na? Nahihilo ka ba? Thanks for giving the break.
I'm taller. Behold, the flamingos of San Francisco.
Yeah, below 15. Below 15.
That's you, that's
Over. That is our gray albino kangaroo, and she's lost all her pigmentations in her cell body. Pika does just nibble on a paw. Cup polar are usually from the Arctic, so they have excellent insulation. Many of you have probably seen that Coca-Cola commercial, where the polar bears are very adorable looking. That's a cold beer for that reason. So, and as you can see, and guess what? Her name is Julie. The one on the corner, the next row, will be Louis, his brother. Now, though they're his brothers, Kodiak bears like to live in isolation. They only meet unless it's a mating season, and that will be the female and male. They're very territorial. As you can see, we have 5 giraffes. Look at the one in the middle that's facing us. He seems to have a darker blotchy pattern on his body and is shorter compared to the other 4. That is the Maasai giraffe, and they're the smallest species within their family. Now they stand about 13.5 feet tall, and the tallest one has been measured to about 15 feet.
Ang bilis!
Yeah, Charles washing the dishes here. May payong ka dyan, oh.
Yeah.
Hindi naman ako nag-buhay sa payong.
Okay. Well, hey, nice and shiny.
Doon kasi snow mismo po, ano?
Okay.
Okay.
Pagkakam sa amin ng ali, anong pwede?
Ayan o. May kaano na ito. Naalala ba siya sa tuloy? Ay, rarom. Mahal na siya, ano? Mag-iingat kayo. Day. Day.
Hala ko kapit, pero na...
Sige, lumipat kayo doon sa bundok na yan. Tawag doon na yan. Ano ko?
Ay, hinintay ko yung camera ni... Camera na, no?
Still.
Yung camera ni... Ni ano, ni... Nilita, yung camera ni Lita.
Very near naman.
I don't remember it being this cold. Warmer.
Alam mo, kahit pa ako nag-break in pa ng snow para mag-slide.
Yan, ganyan.
May camera si ano, may camera si Lita. Andyan si Lita, oh.
Ay, hindi mo kumakit. Anak mo, ayun.
Sige, sige, Loy. Yan, yan. Yan, 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 yan.
Is that your camera?
Oh.
Lloyd, that's dangerous. Remove your stick. It might hit your face.
Maganda yung camera ni Ate Soli, ha? Maganda yun. Makaka-adjust yun. Ate Soli, Ate Soli.
Loy, Loy, sama ka rin doon, Loy.
At the back of Mama Loy. At the back. Kalita, hindi kita sa front. Kasi nasa labas ka na gusto ko malaki ang picture.
Oo, mas gusto ko rin malaki.
Okay, ready?
Sing! Ako rin nag-iisa! Ako rin nag-iisa eh!
Papa naman kasali.
Sige.
Dapat yung tamang-tama lang sa kwan, sa picture. Tamang-tama lang sa ano.
Sa frame.
Kuha kayo mag-asawa pa ko kayo.
Ay, hindi na. Ano, maganda yung tayo.
Sabihin mo kung ready, ha? Are you guys ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah!
Just inside the box. Just inside the box. Just inside the box.
Yeah. Okay? Mahulog. Okay! Smile! Paano kunyari nag-iisa?
Nag-is na naman talaga eh.
Down there. No! No! Ah!
Mag-snowball throwing kayo.
No, my hands are frozen. I don't have gloves. I got gloves in my bag. Oh, here.
Upo ka rin, Paul.
Ano pa na yun eh? Bakit na? Sino no?
Kung ano na hinahanap eh, sabi yung camera niya eh. Nakatay camera niya. Oo, sa nakita lang natin. Ay, wala. Oo, dadaan ko ulit. Basta maaga pa, ano yun. Ayan, nagtatawa. Noy!
Ha?
Oh, meron ba siguro maganda? Okay, let's go sa maganda.
Here's your umbrella.
Pero nawala ilan, no?
Who wants to slide here?
Mas maganda na sumigil pag
Yeah,
lalakad mo.
you're going to slide here.
Ay, matigas.
Oh, you want to give your umbrella? What? Or this one?
Oh, ang layo mo Ben si, ano Ben, si Nelia.
Pabayaan mo yung magdurulusok naman dito. Pabayaan mo naman yung paralintong dyan. Pabayaan mo, tapos bunutin mo. Bunutin mo, dalili ko sa'yo.
Not there. The other side of this one here. It's a slope. The ski slope. There.
Oh, right. Gusto na. Isa yun. No, not here.
Yung banda sana doon, no? Mahaba, oh. Ay, maano? Baka kayo mag-asawa.
O sige. Eh, stay.
Magandang background.
Napadulas ako.
Itong background dito. I didn't do that. Dalawang ganun, apa.
Sana Sadi.
Upo na lang dito.
You don't want to slow parang kasi.
Dalawa kami, Sadi mo to.
Magi mo mga kamong snowball.
Dito kayong dalawa, tapos ano, silang dalawa sumakay kayo. Itohan naman sandara. Yun na yan. Oh.
Yan. Dili kay tong. Malangag mo, Sadi. Malangag mo.
Okay. Ayan, dalawang dalaga.
Siya and ano. Habang libre, dali. Gusto niyo ibayad pa.
Patayin tanga ka sa mga dyan.
Don't stray away because I don't have the number of 911.
Okay. Not too far there because all I get is green. Down here.
Dito, para makuha yung yellow.
Higa kayo.
Down here. Move forward. Okay.
No, get away from there. You're purple. You'll be different. You'll be different. Hindi, pupul muna. Aloy.
Dito kaya.
That's
no good.
Oh, like Aloy.
Ow!
Oh, like Aloy, here.
Okay.
Want to fight?
Do you want something that can make the picture more beautiful?
Tulang si Jelia. Ay! Tayo mga babae.
Hindi, ano? No, si Ari naman si pupul. Okay. Ayun, sir, yun. Oh, let me hold that. Stay behind the seat.
Dito kayo sa one ito para makuha yung likod.
Okay. Stop! Is that you?
That's better.
Very good.
Ang layo niya. Ano, akbayin mo naman ang sipon mo.
Hold the brother. Walang kamot.
Layo lang yan.
Pura mo lang. Aloy! Oh, so you can cover yourself. Where's the panggana?
Kasi ka malanggana. Ang badya. Ako paglaba.
Ano?
Ito daw ang swimming pool ng Hilton dito sa Nevada, sa Reno.
May island pa.
Oh, tingnan mo naman, may isla-isla pa siya, oh, may 7.
Doon ang diving board, ano?
Yun, may ano mo tawag? May 100 islands. Oh. Okay, I'll face you. Ang daming kutsi, oh, lilito.
Yun, tignan mo doon kung ano pa, sabi mo, ayan pa mga... Ayun, may yellow pa din, ano, abot mo.
Doon, meron pang snow sa tuktok ng bundok. Oh, yun. Yun, i-close up ko ha. Yun, may konting yellow pa rin. Magdala ka na lang ng tubig, ah.
Swimming pool. No. We're just kidding.
Nandito kami sa kwarto namin.
Ay, ako naman.
Yan. Tapos ngayon,
I don't know. Can we go there? Maybe. No, I don't think so. I think so.
Pero meron ano siya, ano kaya yung nakadak pa yun?
Five muna.
Tumawag ka sa ano ng number ba ng ano na ano TV, ano number yung kanilang room. Para hindi maano sa akin. Saga, may lapa ka? Anong number yun? I've reached a non-working number.
The A? Bukayro niyan eh. Paliwanag na din.
Kaya maganda yung ilaw.
How's it going tonight? Thursday night in progress here in Boston with your invitation to join Alice at 96.5, broadcasting live from All State Memorial Sales Big $89 transport sale. That's going to be on Saturday. Real Livestock Event Center. Gina and Bob in the morning show.
Pero Christmas ay.
Ako ba mo na eh?
Eh, yan. Sa night time sa talagang araw kayo.
Natin na Ben?
Hi, Dick Clark here, inviting you to the American Bandstand Club.
TV.